Welcome back to Where You're At. I'm your host, Taylor Anthony, and today I'm talking with my former college track and field teammate, and still to this day, a very close friend of mine, Lucia Cannata. She's a 25-year-old real estate agent, and might I add, she is already a homeowner. I'm so proud of her. But we're going to be talking about that transition out of college athletics, her career in real estate, and how she balances work, life, and even content creation. This conversation is all about growth, resilience, and being present in the moment. Hey, Lucia.
Hi, Taylor.
How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, of course. You are my second guest, as I'm sure you know you've been following. Lexi was first, and now you are second. I really wanted to connect with like a lot of my friends, a lot of people who are doing, I have so many friends doing amazing things, and you are guest number two.
Thank you. I'm honored. I'm so excited. Your first episode was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to hopefully try to keep that energy and keep going. I'm trying to think. I saw you back in, what was that, June? It's been what,
Yeah,
almost 2 months, which is kind of crazy.
I know.
And it's so sad because like basically all my friends are long distance now. So, I know you're not too far. You're in Cleveland, but
I know it's weird getting older after graduation. Everyone moves, but hopefully you'll
Mhm.
be back in Cleveland
I know you
soon.
never know. You never know.
Never know.
No, it would be fun to be in the same city, but I know you're not. I know you're not coming to Buffalo. So,
Not sure about
but
that one.
But we go way back. We go back to our undergrad days at John Carroll. We were track and field teammates.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you know what's funny? I know you do a lot of distance running now. You probably run further than I do. But, do you ever question, like, what if we were to just start training again? Or, like, how fast could I run if we just went out and ran a 100 or like a 200 and just like raced?
Oh, all the time because I'm not the best distance runner. And I'm like, I wonder if I started training now, what I could do with my
Mhm.
sleep schedule being right, my eating habits being better. But you never know. I mean, maybe we could another year. We
Another
still
year.
have it.
Be super, super seniors.
30 years old. Yeah.
I'm thinking like, okay, so like a 100, I don't know if I like went out and I don't know if we went out with no training. I guess what I've been running like a mile or two every now, a few days a week, but I don't even know what I would run. I would hope at least like 13 seconds, but I have no
Right.
idea. Like, I don't know what that would be.
They're doing an alumni meet in January. So maybe we can do it there.
That's true. Are you going to be running in that? Can we look forward to seeing you on the track?
Oh, yeah.
And they have the new what is it called? The indoor facility. Yes, yes, and they have
Athletic center.
everything. Yeah, they have
Mhm.
everything. I wish they had when we were training when we were in school, but it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people struggle with that like transition from life after not only college but specifically college
Mhm.
athletics, like kind of
Yeah.
like navigating that weird period of time. Like all of our life we're athletes, and then all of a sudden one day we're just not. We can do whatever we want now. It's not like we have structured routines, structured
Right.
workouts every day. We don't have practice. Like it's so weird for me because like I said, we've had that all of our life.
Right. Adjusting definitely was harder than I thought it would be. Um, I going from a strict workout
Hmm.
routine, running and lifting, straight to post-graduation, you don't have to do any workouts if you don't want to, was really tough. And I feel like we've talked about this before together, but it took a couple years, honestly, to figure out what I like to do, what my body likes, what my mental likes. So I, like you said, do longer runs. I really like to do yoga now. I rarely lift. I don't like picking up weights anymore. But it took time. I think though I would never, um I don't regret being on a team in college. I don't regret doing a college sport. I think the transition actually post-college from running helped me stay strict with myself, stay in
Hmm.
routine and consistent. Um, and I think too, like translating the team aspect to real life and being on like a team for real estate, it's really given me a better outlook that everyone has a purpose, everyone has a role,
Hmm.
to keep cheering people on. Like, I feel like you and I have always been teammates, even post graduation. Maybe not the word teammate, but you and I always cheer each other on in that way.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I think that's what I've taken from post graduation, no more
Hmm.
track life, you know?
Right, right. No, it's almost like that self-discipline we have to have with ourselves. Like you want to stay in shape, you want to
Mhm.
be fit. but it's like a different way. It's a different level than obviously when we're training, at the
Right.
highest level for competition. So no, I'm definitely, I feel like I'm in that same kind of transitional. I mean, I'm 2 years out, you're 3 years out now. So I still feel like I'm kind of navigating that, even now, just like kind of finding a workout routine that works for me and finding maybe even workout classes and things like that. But I feel like it's
Mhm.
something that, people may not talk about enough, that transition for college athletes. But, we're making it work. I know you are yoga instructor certified now. So
Yeah,
we can
I
take a class from you.
right, come to Cleveland, I'll figure out where I'm teaching first, that's my first step with that, but have the certification, so once I get that up and running, I'll be good to go, come to my classes.
Oh, count me in, girl. But it's funny because I've been taking it's so random. I found it because I actually did a story on it. This cardio boxing gym. So I'm not like training to box, but it's just like cardio boxing. Like I'm learning all the different
Fun.
punches. It's so random, but it's just like I said, we can
Right.
we can do whatever we want.
Right, I've learned that, like, it doesn't matter the workout, it's more like, do you look forward to going?
Right.
Because I mean, a lot of the time at track practice, I did not look forward to going, I didn't wanna go to the lifts, but now you could do whatever you want, like you said, you just
Mhm.
found that boxing, that sounds fun,
I know it's
I
so
tried a
random.
bunch of different stuff yeah, I think, after college or any at any time of your life, figure out what you like to do, so then you're excited to go do it.
That's true, and that's kinda what will keep you going, but yeah, I feel like, we know each other very well, obviously, like I said, we know we go way back to our track days at John Carroll, but tell us a little bit about yourself now, where you're at and what exactly that you're doing.
So yeah, I graduated in 2022. I got my real estate license my junior year of college when we got sent home for COVID. And now I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. My family is on the east side, but I actually just recently moved to the west side. I bought my own place in Lakewood and I'm loving it. Finished all 4 years at John Carroll, got my business marketing degree. When I was a junior, I got my real estate license during COVID. I actually got sent home that year. And my dad, who's in commercial real estate, encouraged me to get my real estate license online.
Mhm,
So I was able to get my license then. And the after that, I reached out to my boss now, my team lead, her name's Haley. She actually went to John Carroll as well. She ran track. My track coach at the time encouraged me to reach out to her. We didn't run together, but he
mhm.
encouraged me to reach out to her because she was successful. So I DM'd her and she actually was open to starting a team. So my junior year, I started a team with her and I was kind of an intern, you could call it, throughout my college years, doing showings, doing home inspections, and then after that, I was full-time realtor.
Aw, oh, that was Kyle.
Wait,
He's the one
yeah,
that's right, connected you with Haley. I remember that during, when all that was happening and, like, we were home during COVID and all of that. Oh, we
yeah,
miss him.
yep. I know, me
Um,
too.
so I know you got your real estate license during your junior year. I know typically for real estate, you don't have to have a traditional 4-year college degree, right?
No, you do not. Mm-mm.
So what inspired you to kind of pursue your career in real estate when you were on a traditional, 4-year undergrad track and majoring in business marketing, right?
Yes, yeah. So I think, ever since I was little, I loved design. I wanted to
Mhm.
be a fashion designer. I wanted to be an interior designer. Everything to do with design, I was intrigued with. I never really thought about being a real estate agent. I think at a young age, I didn't really even know what that was. But throughout my life, yeah, in high school, I wanted to be a fashion designer. And I looked at a few colleges for that. And that summer going into college, or still looking at colleges, I bought a sewing machine and I tried to learn how to sew. That summer, I realized was not for me. I I could not sew for the life of me. It was so hard, and I put that aside, and I knew I didn't wanna do medical, so I knew I
Mhm,
wanted to be a businesswoman of some sort.
mhm,
That's how I fell into the business marketing degree, and
okay.
then my sophomore year, my dad kind of encouraged me to get the license, and I'm so
Mhm.
glad he did because I love what I do now.
Yeah, so fashion design
Mhm.
just wasn't it, but But you
You
have to
know,
try to figure out what it is that you're not gonna do or that what you don't like doing. So it's okay because I mentioned this in the previous episode. I thought I was gonna do like something medical related, and obviously I couldn't be further
right.
from that right now. So I completely get it. I completely get
Mhm.
it. You gotta trial and error. But honestly, I feel like a lot of, like you said, those passions, those things that you really liked about interior design have transferred over with your real estate career. And you know what I also remember us talking about is you kind of getting into interior design in terms of like branching out from real estate. And so like not only are you selling homes, but you're designing the inside of them as well, right?
That would definitely be a goal of mine in the future once I get more established. I think it could be a fun little side quest to be a stager, prior to listing a home. So
Hmm.
you're right. I think there's so many different avenues I could do with this career, and I'm glad I chose this. I also, going back, touching on like figuring out what I wanted to do,
Hmm.
I didn't exactly know the career I wanted at the time, but I knew what I liked, and I think that was super important. I knew I liked talking to people. I knew
Hmm.
that I liked helping people. I knew I didn't like blood. I didn't like medical stuff like you. Um, and I 100% knew too that I didn't want to do a 9 to 5. My
Hmm.
mind doesn't work like that. Like, I don't like sitting still, and that could be a problem, but it also, for this career isn't. I like being on the move. So, you take all those different qualities and you put it together and you find that, "Oh, she could be a good realtor. I don't know what else I could do, but, those different
Yeah.
things I like work out."
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's kind of combining like all of your passions, all of your interests, or the things you wanted in a career is, I mean, and essentially that's real estate for you, right?
Right, right.
Okay, so talk with me a little bit about, what your work experience has been like. You've been a real estate agent now for what, 3 years? 3 years now?
4 years, I would say
4 years.
3 full-time after graduation.
Hmm.
But yeah, I would say now I really love it. I mean, I'm not going to ignore how hard it was to get where I am now.
Hmm.
So I feel like talking about the struggle up to it might be beneficial for some people. Let's start with that summer when I was studying my junior year to get the license. I
Hmm.
actually failed by a couple points on the exam that July,
Okay.
and it was heartbreaking because you can't do it unless you have the license. So
Right.
I was so close, but that's part of the journey. I didn't give up. I went back to school that semester and finished my junior year, was able to retake the exam, and I passed. And honestly, I think I needed those accounting classes and I needed the different marketing classes to help me pass the second time. But that was all part of the journey, the path. So then at 19, I became a realtor, and then I would say once I graduated college, I thought it would be great to be full time. I wanted to be full time
Hmm.
realtor. Everyone had their full time jobs, but it was not what I thought it would be. Much harder than it seems. You don't know people. People don't know you. You really have to
Hmm.
put yourself out there. No one's just going to work with you because you just got your license. Um, and I had a lot of imposter syndrome. I know you talked about that with Lexi on the last episode, but I had that as well. I had the same thought running through my head. How am I selling a home to someone when I don't own a home myself? So it just felt almost fake. And I knew my parents told me, everyone told me, you're qualified, you passed the exam, you're trained enough, but I still had those thoughts. So, my main goal at the time was to buy my own place. And that kind of leads to after graduation, I moved in with my parents while everyone else moved downtown, still had their freedom. That
Hmm.
was, a really hard year for me, seeing everyone having fun still, getting a consistent paycheck. And I was living at home with my parents, kind of struggling. Um, but the struggle led me to getting another job. I was a waitress. I
I
served for
remember
about a
that.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't regret that. I love the people I worked with. I've actually learned a lot in that job, just communication wise,
Hmm.
it's customer service. So you learn a lot in that type of profession. And I think at that point, for a year, I was just work, 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 save, 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 save for a down payment, move
Hmm.
out. And I'm so grateful for my parents for letting me live with them.
Yeah,
And,
come back
you
home for
know,
a little bit.
of course, like, I'm not dismissing that they were there for me, but I was ready to move. I
Yeah,
really
I feel like
was.
that age, your independence, I mean, it's also being grateful that, that's the last time in your life that you'll probably ever live with mom and dad full time, but
Right.
it's also being ready for that independence of having your own and just being on your own, so I completely get that.
Exactly. Yeah. It was a bittersweet type year for me. So
Mhm,
once I saved, I started looking about a year and a half in, and nothing was, catching my eye, and nothing was accessible. This market is
mhm,
crazy, and it was crazier when I was looking. So I was competing against 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds who had
mhm,
way more cash, way higher down payments, just in a better situation than I was. But I pray a lot, and I have a big faith in God, and I would pray, pray, pray every night, help me do this. I would, this is the only thing I want. And my dad told me, he's like, why don't you just send some letters to people um of houses off market and see
mhm.
if you get any responses. So I found one condo in Lakewood that I loved. It was off market, which means it's not for sale. You don't even know if it's for sale, or you don't even know if the person will respond to you. So I wrote a letter to this person and I said, "Hi, I'm Lucia, um, if you're willing to sell, like, I'm willing to buy." And from the grace of God, she responded to me and said, "No way, I'm actually looking to sell next month." And
Oh my
I'm like,
gosh,
"Oh my
no
gosh,
way.
this is perfect." Yeah, it kinda just worked out like that. Um, Not sure if it would work like that for everyone, but it's worth
No.
a shot to put letters out there for sure.
So then, fast forward, you became a homeowner at what, 24, 23?
Yes, I was 23, yeah.
23 when you owned your first. I mean, it's a condo, but you owned
Mhm.
it. It wasn't renting, you weren't
Right.
like, you were an homeowner, and I feel like that's really special because you don't I mean, you hear people renting for years until they actually get the chance to have something of their own, so the fact that you've accelerated beyond that, and you have a house
Thank you.
before you have something before so many of your peers, so, I mean, congratulations, you have to pat yourself on the back for that because that means you did
Thank you.
everything right, and like you said, everything that happened leading up to that, led you to where you are now. So, Les, I know you mentioned, you failed the real estate exam back in undergrad, but then you studied, you took it again, you took those other courses that helped you, pass and have a better understanding. And then, you graduated and then you stayed at home, but you stayed at home and saved money. You saved
Mhm,
money and that set you up to become a homeowner. I mean, oh my gosh, if I could have left John Carroll. So I went straight from John Carroll to Chicago to Buffalo. So I never had a chance after undergrad to stay home, work and save that money. Like financially, I figured it out. I made it work. I feel like some people take for granted how beneficial it can be to have that time at home if, your parents are willing to let you, if you have that
mhm,
support system to, you're fresh out of school, we're 22, 23 years old, we're trying to figure out what's next. And if I was able to live at home and work and save money before making those big moves to Chicago and now to Buffalo, oh my gosh, that would have been a dream. But, everyone's path is different. That wasn't the way I was, supposed to go, but I am thankful I do still have my parents as a
mhm.
support system, even though I was never able to, be home with them again. But that's just the way my career took me.
Right.
And it brings me to say, with your career specifically, I feel like people have a lot of misconceptions about real estate, like, oh, they're just selling houses. But like you're saying, it's a hard job. Everything that goes into that. I mean, you have to build a clientele, you have to put yourself out there, you have to network, you have to meet people, people have to know you, they have to trust you, to sell their home. It's like there's so much more to it than just be like, oh, I sell houses, right? What was the hardest part for you when you first started out, in your real estate career?
Hardest part for me, I think, well, one, I touched on it, was believing in myself. I had to tell myself that no one when I show a house, no one knows how experienced I am or not.
Right.
So I had to get over that hurdle, but I think the more obvious hurdle was getting my own clients,
Mhm.
because all of my friends were renting. Still, people are renting. All the people
Mhm.
I know, the majority are renting except, like, family members, and family members
Mhm.
are already living in their houses. So I think that was the hardest part for me, to get my own clients, get my own people. But the way I went about that was doing an open house every weekend, if not 2 or 3, doing one
Wow.
Saturday, doing one Sunday, and I kind of stopped. I do it still now, but I was very consistent with that, starting out open houses every
Mhm.
Saturday, every Sunday. Even if I was tired, I would go and do one. Even if no one came to the open house, I would still sit there for 2 hours. Um, and I think over the past 4 years doing that, I probably got 4 clients from that, which, seems like a low amount, for the time I spent just sitting there, but,
Mhm.
that's the price you pay, and then it's the price you pay for hoping those people that you helped will refer you, which has happened, but that all
Mhm.
comes with your reputation, so
Right, building those connections, maybe this person leads you to this person, which then that just continues to expand your client base, right?
correct, yeah.
And then I know you also mentioned Haley, so she was kind of your mentor in terms of guiding you through being so new in this in your real estate career, right? So tell me about the
Mhm.
role that she's played in helping you kind of get to where you are today.
Oh gosh, I would credit all of it to her, honestly, not all of it. I mean, I know I worked hard too, but I would not be where I am without her as my mentor. She's our team lead. She's created this team from the ground up. I was the first
Mhm.
agent. Her sister's our transaction coordinator, and we have a couple agents too with us on our team. But she may be the best. I don't even want to call her my boss, but team lead that there could be. She is always there if you have a question, and she really focuses on balance. I
Mhm.
know a lot of bosses even don't care about that. They don't care that you have a social life. They don't care that you have a workout life. But
Mhm.
she's been such a good role model with that, and she's always encouraged balance, take time off, see your family, do your workouts. Like, I get
Yeah.
it. That's been really helpful, honestly, in my growth with this. Also, this career is you're self-employed, so you could work for 24 hours if you wanted to. It's not a 9 to 5, which is a good thing, but it also can be, a not so good thing if you don't set boundaries and
Mhm.
people could be texting you at 10 p.m. to write an offer and you have to put your phone down at times. And that's kind of what Haley has taught me
Mhm.
that, it's a good thing you're self-employed, but make sure you don't get burnt out in
Right.
this career.
Yeah, I feel like from what you've told me, it's very easy to do because it's not like your typical 9 to 5. At 5 o'clock, your job doesn't end, and that who's you don't even start at 9 o'clock. You have hours, random hours all
Right.
throughout the day. But also, I
Mhm.
think kind of off of that, you finding that work life balance is important and real. I mean, work life balance is important in all careers, but I know it's easier said than done, right? So I'm so
Right.
happy that you are in a position where you have that support system, you have that balance. Oh, and it's also very
Yeah.
special that you were able to have someone kind of guide you, take you under their wing because I feel like it's important to have that, especially when you're early in your career. Find that mentor, find that person that you can look up to, that you can ask questions to, that can kind of show you the way so you can do things the right way. But I'm
Right.
happy you touched on that because work life balance is something I feel like we're all always trying to find. So
Exactly. Yeah. It's hard.
like you said, you could have clients texting or calling you at random times of the day, of the night.
Mhm.
So you have to learn to, I guess, what boundaries as well as just like that self discipline as well. It's like, okay, this time to this time, I'm off work. I'm not doing, I'm not thinking about work. I'm actually, yes, making that like separation.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So I guess being in a city like you're living in Cleveland, which oh my gosh, I love Cleveland. How has it been for you not only building your career there, but you're building a life there? I know your family's there, your boyfriend is there. That's home, right? You're not going
Right.
anywhere. So what has been
Mhm.
the best part about just building your life there?
Hmm, that's a good question. I think, yeah, it helps that my family's here for sure. I'm a big
Mhm.
family person. That's kind of why I chose the college I went to. I'm a homebody. I see my family every weekend, if not sometimes during the week. So that is kind of a stability factor, I guess, to living here. Moving to the West Side was a big jump for me. So I know it might not be for some people because, like, people like you moved to different states. So Still the West Side feels like I'm on my own here, which
Mhm.
took some time. But that being said, I think you have to do it. You have to move away at some point. And I've some of my friends luckily have stayed in Cleveland after college, which is nice. And my boyfriend, yes, he lives in Lakewood as well, so that helps.
Mhm.
But I think besides the people that have been in my life forever, I've learned to love being alone and not in a sad way, but like I I have really appreciated my alone time and my recharge time and
Mhm.
cleaning my space, reorganizing, finding things that I like to do on my own. I think that's super helpful when you move away or you move out or whatever. Finding
Mhm.
stuff that you enjoy to do alone.
Right, it's like that newfound, like, that independence. It's just, like, kinda
Right.
being happy and being content with being on your own. It's like, yes, you still have your people close by or near you, but it's like also you're comfortable, you're content with being on your own.
Exactly. Like you moved into your own apartment and you're thriving. Look at you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. But I mean, it would be lying if I said at times it wasn't hard because I don't have that same I mean, I'm building a new support system, but it's not like I have my family right there. They're not far, but it's not like I have all of my college friends, my hometown friends, easy like right by me. So
Mhm.
I feel like in a way it's just like, I am doing things a bit different, but I've kind of made the most of being kind of like city hopping, I guess. I guess that's kind of
Mhm.
what this career entails. But now that, that I am on my own, it is a really great feeling to have just because you go from college where you have roommates all 4 years. And then even when I lived in Chicago, I still had roommates. And it's just like there is something special about finally having your own. And it's like I'm not a homeowner yet, but
You will
it's
be.
still yes, one day. One day it's still nice to just have, like you said, something on your own. It's just so rewarding.
Mhm. Definitely. Yeah.
I know you talked a lot about your real estate career and kind of how you're kind of navigating that. But I feel like you have so much going on outside of work. You of anyone, you do great at finding that, like we said, that work balance. I know you do a lot of content creation. I feel like that's really cool just because because that's just something fun that you can look forward to, but also you're getting like partnerships with brands and they're reaching out to you to like post their content. Like that is so cool. Like not everyone gets those sort of opportunities, and like we have like realtor Lucia and then we have like influencer Lucia. So tell me, yeah, why did you start making TikToks? What even got you kind of into that content
Yeah.
creator space?
Yeah, sure. Well, like I said, I always had that passion for clothes, fashion design, things like that, even makeup.
Mhm.
I love just getting dressed and doing my makeup. So, I started making TikToks, getting dressed, doing my makeup. And I think it was fun for me and it's fun for me. I think it's just an outlet for creativity and that's all
Mhm.
part of the balance. Like you need to have your work, how you make your money, and then you have to have your creative side too, like your creative brain, and I think that's what you're doing with this podcast if I'm correct.
Mhm.
But that that's how I unleash that creativity. I Even though it's just doing my makeup, but it's showing my outfits, and I've been lucky enough, like you said, to get sent stuff that honestly I would already buy. So it's kind of fun. I think anyone I am not an influencer, big time influencer. I just make
You can
videos. Let's
be.
make that let's make that clear. I make some videos and get sent some products, but I think my
Okay, isn't
advice
that the
for
definition of influencer?
I'm
I
not
make
Alex
videos and I
Earl.
get sent some products. But no, I
Okay.
literally love your aesthetic. Okay, tell us, what is your TikTok name so everyone can go and follow you?
What is it? It's at Lucia Cannata 17.
Okay, that's
So
TikTok, right? Okay.
that's TikTok, yeah.
But if anyone
But
is
I
in the
think
market for a house, what's that? How can we connect with you there?
if anyone is in the market for a home, my Instagram handle is at Lucia Cannata Realtor.
I will tag all of that so you don't
Tag
worry.
all
But
that. Yeah, you
yeah, oh
can
my God.
easily do the click. But I think anyone who wants to get involved, or not involved, but if
Mhm,
anyone has an interest in posting on TikTok, uh, my advice for you would be not to care about what anyone thinks because that was a big roadblock for me. Thinking people were going to call me cringy because they definitely did. Um, but honestly, those I've learned in everything in life, but especially this side,
mhm,
I've learned that the people who are making fun of you usually are unhappy and they kinda wanna do it themselves, but they're nervous. So keep that in mind. Like, I've never met a happy person who brings people down. I think the happiest people are the ones cheering each other on, and they're usually the most
Mhm.
successful.
Yeah, they're
So
just haters. They're
there
haters.
yeah, I mean, I think for sure, like, it's scary, but don't be afraid.
Mhm.
If you find fun in it, you find creativity, just go for it, email brands and see where it
Yes.
goes.
Yes, no, I love that you're in a place where you can just be unapologetically yourself. Because I know there was a time when you were a little, like, hesitant, like, "What are people gonna think of me?" So I love that you fully embrace that because your content is amazing, Lucia. Like, your
Thank you.
aesthetic is exactly what the influencers that have millions of followers are doing, so please just stick with it. I know it's not your main hustle, but it's a fun like you said, even if it is just a creative outlet for you, I mean, what's the harm in getting free stuff and maybe making a few extra dollars from it, right? So just
Right,
stick
and
with
same
it.
for you. Yeah, same for you. I feel
Mm,
like we've had the same conversations, like, about starting this podcast, being
mhm.
afraid, you telling me, "I don't know who's gonna listen to it," and who cares? People will listen, like, it just comes with time, so
No, you're 100% right, and I love that you're also someone that I had been talking to a lot about this idea, and you're always so supportive of it, just, like, pushing me to just do it, who cares, right? So I think, again, that was just me with my own pushback, but if it makes me happy, then that's all that matters, and it is something that I love doing because, like you said, it is a creative outlet for me. So,
right.
yes, I am a reporter, and I am doing a similar thing on the day-to-day, but it's in a different way, right? Being a reporter and doing interviews and doing storytelling is different than what I'm able to do with this podcast. I think having this outlet kind of gives me something else to look forward to outside of my 9 to 5 because I do work a 9 to 5. It's not a traditional 9 to 5 because no news or being a reporter is not a traditional career by any means, but it just gives me that extra like that extra something to look forward to. So I'm
Yeah,
happy that
exactly.
we're similar in that way. So I need to be better
Mhm.
about the TikToks though, because I need to get like you. I mean, I post, but not like that. So where are the
Yeah,
brands? Like, why aren't they coming for me?
I need you to keep posting because I remember you posted, like, a makeup tutorial, and I watched
Mhm.
it, like, 12 times because I just loved
And
I
it's
love
funny
the
because
way
I
you
feel like
talk.
I'm still thank you. People keep saying like, "Oh, you have a podcast voice." I'm like, "That's funny," because listening back, I'm like, "Oh, why do I why do I sound
No,
like"
you do. I mean, it makes sense. You're a reporter, but the voice, some people don't have it. You have it.
Oh, thanks. So I hope people are listening and I am soothing them. But no, that makeup tutorial, I'm still learning the makeup thing, but I think I'm gonna try to post on TikTok more with like behind the scenes stuff. Like I know people love that. But obviously I have a TikTok for the podcast, but I'm talking about like my personal account because I'd love to like grow my following on there. It's just like the consistency thing. It's hard. Like I spend the day, I go out, I do my interviews, I'm shooting with my camera, I go back and I'm editing. And then it's like when I come home, the last thing I want to think about is like, oh, what can I post on TikTok? But I need to maybe stop thinking of it that way and think of it more as just like also another creative outlet. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
I think with that, because I feel that same way, and I've
Mhm,
learned to the days that I'm, like, more inspired than other days, I record, like, a few TikToks, and
mhm,
I'll do a makeup, then I'll do an outfit, and then I'll do whatever, an unboxing, and I'll do it
mhm.
all in the same day, and then I save them as drafts, post them at different days, so it looks like I'm posting more consistently than I'm actually filming,
Oh, that's smart. That's like
that
kind of like
helps.
batch report. Yes, and you have more
Yeah.
content to get out there.
Yeah, because for sure, I feel like some days I'm like, "Ugh," like, I don't wanna put makeup
Mhm,
on or, like, I don't look cute or I don't wanna do this,
mhm.
or it's cloudy out, the lighting's not good, so, yeah, that's a good little trick.
And you told me before some of the brands have reached out to you, but you also just like reach out to them and ask if they like would be interested in like partnering with you, right?
Yeah, like, I think, like, a good example would be if anyone's heard of Pura, like, those home diffusers.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
Yeah, I love those, and mine had actually died, so I thought, "Oh, why not email Pura and say, like, I'm a realtor," I kinda pitched myself, and I
Mhm.
like filming content, like, I like filming my home design, whatever, if you guys would wanna work together, and they sent me a Pura paid me and let me pick out scents. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this,
That's
Christmas?
crazy, but like you said, you pitched yourself, and that is so
Mhm.
important to be able to do because, like I said in the previous episode, and I didn't say it, my friend Lexi said it, no one knows you better than you, and you know what you bring to the
Yes.
table, and you know how to sell you should know how to sell yourself, and if you can do that and know those 2 things, that can set you
Yeah.
up for success, so I love that you take that opportunity to pitch yourself to these brands because that's essentially I mean, that's kinda what you have to do in your real estate career as well.
Right. You have to advocate for yourself because no one else is really going to do that for you. I mean, no one's
Mhm.
going to email the brands unless I do. So you're right.
So with that, I mean, would you ever love to do like the content creation stuff full time if there was a way to like maybe combine the real estate with social media? And I don't know, like have you ever considered that?
Yeah. Well, I considered like, trying a bit harder at it, but I realized I tried to kind of do that last year and I realized that life is not for me.
Mhm.
I I realized, I mean, I'm on my phone all the time with real estate that, like, I was double on my phone editing,
Mhm.
and I was getting headaches almost from it because I'm looking down at my phone, editing things, caring
Mhm.
about my appearance, which you should always care about your appearance, caring about it a little too much in an unhealthy way, and I kinda had to snap out of it, like, "This is not for me." Like, I like doing it, for fun. It
For fun.
became on
Mhm.
the moment it became not fun and forced,
Mhm.
I had to stop a bit, and now it's become more fun again, and I don't think I'd ever stop doing real estate, but
Yeah. And how many
yeah.
how many TikTok followers do you have?
I have 23,000 or 24,000 or something like that.
That is crazy. I know you had like a handful of videos go viral. So was that when the followers really started to come in?
Yeah, for sure.
But no, that's cool. That is so cool that you're able to, I mean, build that type of following. Now that they can see the content you're making now, you'll just continue to attract people that are, that want to follow that type of, like you said, you're doing makeup, beauty, fashion. So I love
Mhm.
that. I love that you've kind of found that passion. So it's kind of fun to be able
Thank
to
you.
see, we started out talking about how you even got into real estate. And then it's kind of a full circle moment, I feel like, in a way for you because you are now still combining all your passions and interests not only into your to a career, but also into a kind of not passion project, but side,
Yeah, I would call it
like you
that.
said, passion project. Yeah. So as we kind of start to wrap things up, if you, kind of looking back, your 18-year-old, let's say 18-year-old self could see you now,
Okay.
what do you think she would say? What do you think she would think of where Lucia is at right now?
I would tell myself to enjoy the present moment. I feel like when I was 16, 18, I mean, I still do this. I
Hmm.
always look forward to the next milestone. At 16, I was looking at for my license, then what college, then senior year, then
Hmm.
graduation, moving out. And now at 25, I'm like, what next home am I going to get? Like, I think I would tell myself that the true happiness is in the present. Sounds so cliche, but it's true. Your happiness is in the present moment and it's not
Hmm.
in your future goals. So if you focus like too much on the future, you're going to miss out on what you have, the people around you, the places. And I would tell myself, oh, I'm telling myself this now too, because I still haven't figured this out. But don't let your anxiety about the future hold
Hmm.
you back from appreciating what you have now. Um, and I would also tell myself this is kind of a two-part thing, but I would say the best way to succeed and progress in life is to be honest and be kind and consistent in everything you do. You might reach your goals slower than others who didn't do it this way, but you know that you did it the right way. And I would say respect everyone around you. Like whether they're young or old, everyone has advice and wisdom to share.
Yeah, I love that. And also remembering, like you said, everyone is on their own path. You don't have to compare where you're at in life to someone else because we're all
Mhm.
on our own path, our own journey. And just because we may feel behind or not where we're supposed to be, that's all in our head because where we're at is where we're supposed to be.
Definitely. I would say too that the universe is abundant.
Mhm.
There's never a cap on what you can and can't do. If your college major was one thing, it does not mean you can't do something else. Your chosen career path doesn't mean you could completely veer off and do something else. Where you live, the people you're friends with. So knowing this, to try everything that makes you feel
Mhm.
like yourself. Like everyone says, "Oh, like be like enjoy your or find your inner child or whatever," which sounds kind of weird, but it's kind of true. Try
Mhm.
everything that makes your inner child happy and what you feel most like yourself, and you're gonna succeed at anything
Mhm.
you like to do, if you try and are consistent. So, like you said, embrace new experiences and don't be afraid to try different paths.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I also liked what you said earlier about being present and just being in the moment because I also, just like you, I find myself worrying about what's next or like what else can I achieve, like you said, graduating college, starting work, doing this. And it's just like, it is great to think about the future and plan, but also there's nothing better than the present and being content and making the most of the time right now. So I always thinking, I have how much time left here? What's next for me? And it's like I can just enjoy what I'm doing, make the most of my day to day. And I trust in God and I know that He will lead me to where I need to go along my journey.
Right.
Whatever my next steps may be, I know that I'm on the path I'm meant to be for a reason. So I have to also remind myself to just sit back, enjoy the moment, enjoy the process, and trust in the process. And I don't have to
Mhm.
rush everything. So I think it is easier said than done, but it's just kind of something that you kind of got to discipline yourself with.
Yeah, I think you're right too. Like we as humans make life so much more complicated than it is because of those fears, those anxieties. So, like you said, just let go and let God. But seriously, like once you let go, if you're worried about something, half of the time it'll come and it'll appear right in your lap. That's most
Hmm.
times that's happened to me that way without me forcing it.
Yeah, it's like when you least expect it.
Mhm.
So before we go, something I want to ask all my guests kind of as
Yeah.
we wrap things up. When you think of your life, your career, your relationships, just kind of a little bit of everything. If I were to ask you, where are you at? What would you say?
I think where I'm at now, I'm grateful. I'm happier than I've ever been, but I'm still hopeful for future things. I feel like finally, for once in my life, I'm, like I said before, like enjoying where I'm at, even
Hmm.
though a lot of people are doing different things quicker than I am. I have to take a step back and I'm finally enjoying where I'm at.
I love that. And I think that's why I started this podcast because I wanted to hear authentically where people are at, how they're navigating where they're at, where they want to go, and just, hearing the story about the process. So I think you're in a great place. You're doing great. I'm so proud of you. And I'm so happy that I still have you as such a close friend. One of my
Me
closest
too.
friends, from John Carroll. And I think it's just so special to have so many meaningful relationships in our lives. And I'm so happy that you were willing to share your journey, especially your real estate journey on this podcast, because I chose you specifically to have as a guest because I feel like a lot of people can relate with where you're at.
Thank you, Taylor. Thanks for having me. And I'm so grateful for having you as a friend too. So this was so fun. And I'm so proud of you,
Oh, thank
little
you so much.
adult.
Thank you.
Little adult
And
with a
I
mic.
thank you for tuning in to the second episode of Where You At. Lucia's story is a reminder that growth happens when you stay consistent and stay present. So make sure to follow the show and share it with someone who might need a little inspiration on their own path. But until next time, keep showing up where you're at.